Hi, and welcome to Pixel Clear's Let's Talk Business series. Today, we're going to be talking about how to achieve digital marketing success. There's no doubting the world is digital. That landscape is completely clear. And digital strategy is now the key to success. So, why digital? Well, we know that there are more than 3.7 billion internet users. That's around half of the global population. And Australia has 20.6 million internet users, which is a whopping 85.1% of the Australian population. That's a huge uptake. So why digital? Well, when it comes to smartphones, we also know that there are more than 2.3 billion smartphone users and rising. That's around 30% of the population. And in Australia, the statistics are just as boggling as the internet. There are more than 16.6 million users and growing, which is more than 68% of Australians. So having an online presence that's smartphone enabled is absolutely vital. And the good news is e-commerce is growing. So we actually know that shoppers are making more than 50% of their purchases online, and that this figure is rapidly rising. And in 2017, Australia's total online sales are expected to exceed $32 billion, which puts us in the top 10 countries worldwide for online sales. That's pretty amazing stuff. So the great news is business to consumer is growing fast. And in Australia, 12.6 million Aussies, that's around 65%, actually shop online. Here's the interesting statistic. More than 80% research the items online before they actually buy. And even more interestingly, more than 60% of those who research buy the item online rather than go into a store. So you can see how vital having an online presence for a business to consumer relationship is. And here's more interesting information. The digital business to business market is growing even faster. So in the US, the B2B market is more than $1 trillion annually, and it is growing. The B2B market is about 4 times the size of the business to consumer market, and it's mirrored about the same proportion in Australia. Interestingly, 94% of B2B buyers research online before making decisions. So if you're trying to capture that business to business market, having an online presence with the right information for researchers to make the buying decisions is absolutely crucial. So the question now is, how do you access the digital pie? Well, you used to be able to stick a website up on the internet and hope your market finds you. But now with the amount of competition that's out there, you can't do that anymore. You actually need to actively find your customers and then interact with them. So, how do you find your customers? Well, by maximising your digital reach with the right digital strategy. And that's key. So what is this thing called a digital strategy? All right, let me tell you. So a digital strategy actually transforms your entire business model. So it's a plan that transforms your entire business model. We call it the plan. It uses digital marketing as the communication vehicle. That's the platforms that you actually market through digitally. And it uses those to extend the digital reach for your business. That is, find your customers. That's what a digital strategy is. So here are some of the components of digital marketing. You can see web design, SEO, social media, email marketing, pay-per-click. You will be familiar with some of these terms probably, and maybe even tried some of these things, maybe with good results, maybe not. But a digital strategy is much more than those individual components. It's actually a holistic, integrated approach to online marketing. It's tailored to the specific needs of your business, and it's designed to not only reach your target market, but to get them to act and interact, and thereby improves your bottom line. So you've probably heard quite a bit about digital marketing, and there's a lot of people out there who say they can help you. They spam you with emails. I'm sure you've had plenty of those. And they say they can get you on the first page of Google like it's some holy grail. And they use confusing jargon like SEO, PPC, SMM. We talked about those before, but there's other jargon that they use to try and confuse you or make them sound more expert-like. But here's the reality of all this, is what they're offering you is marketing, not a strategy. And sadly, the truth is a lot of businesses are so desperate out there that they'll try anything or anyone. So here are some business facts. In Australia, most businesses are struggling to retain or grow revenue. They don't have an effective digital marketing strategy. Many don't even have a website, or if they do, it's poorly constructed, looks terrible, and has very outdated or obsolete content, or no content at all, even worse. And they don't engage in active digital marketing. And sadly, here are the results. So despite all this, internet advertising by Australian businesses has actually reached $17 billion in 2012 and has grown steadily since. And what that means is people are pouring a lot of money into advertising but still not getting the returns. Digital advertising now accounts for about 38.5% of global marketing budgets. But here's the big question. Is it being spent effectively? And again, sadly for most businesses, that answer is no. Their digital marketing falls on deaf ears because they aren't using a digital strategy. And so here's the big question. How do you get your message heard above all that advertising noise? Well, here's the answer. First, you have to find a business partner who has years of proven specialist experience in digital marketing, has a global presence giving you an economy of scale and competitive pricing, has local customer-focused expertise, and guarantees their work. Second, you need to work with them to understand your business goals, to define your ideal customer and life cycle, to understand where your customer lives, that's where they hang out, to glean insights from your competition. Why invent the wheel when you can find out what works and improve on it? And work with them to decide on the right look and feel, unique message, the right platforms, format, and content for your business. That forms all the strategy. That is the answer. So, why Pixel Clear? Well, here's the sales pitch. With Pixel Clear, you get a very unique service. You get a global presence. You get local expertise with a strong customer focus and a very comprehensive and strategic approach with a guarantee of excellence. So let's talk global presence. Pixel Clear is based in Sri Lanka, giving you that economy of scale. Its original business commenced in 2009, and they have offices in Japan and Australia. More importantly, they have a quality assurance process for all of their processes. So that means their systems are robust and that they work. And they have local expertise. Well, that'd be me. My name's Sigrid. I have a Bachelor of Business Administration. I'm a member of the Australian Institute of Management and a member of the Australian Society of Authors. I'm actually Pixel Clear's Australian Business Development Manager. I'm Melbourne born and based, and I began internet marketing in 2003. So I've been doing it for a long time. I'm actually, by trade, a strategic business specialist, and I've consulted to small businesses and large corporates like IBM, Energy Australia, Subway, and the Australian Physiotherapy Association. And I'm also an international speaker and author. So at Pixel Clear, and the reason I decided to join them was that our services aren't for everyone. At Pixel Clear, we limit the number of clients because we have limited resources and we want to ensure we give you the highest level of service possible. Customer focus is absolutely vital for us. And if we can't help you, we won't tell you that we can. It's that simple. We're not going to try and pull the wool over your eyes. We want to know that we can add value and make a difference to your business and your bottom line. So we have a very comprehensive approach. We take the time to get to know your business and its needs and what your ideal client looks like, and that's you working with me. And then I match the most effective tools for your industry and tailor an approach along with the guys back in Sri Lanka that's going to get you the results that you desire and a return on your investment. Absolutely key. If you're not going to get a return on that investment, we don't want your money. So our services at Pixel Clear are very comprehensive. They look kind of like this in a way if I was going to draw a tree, and we specialise in lead generation and websites that actually convert. Cost-effective and measurable search terms, that's the SEO acronym. Effective and targeted social media marketing on a range of different platforms, that's the SMM. Paid advertising on the right portal for your audience that produces a return on investment, that's the pay-per-click acronym. Content creation that engages and converts. We have excellent copywriting, video, infographics and more, and there's some other services which I haven't listed here, but we can talk about them later. And we have a guarantee of excellence. Getting you ahead of your competition is going to take some time, so keeping you there is just as important, and so we guarantee your satisfaction. We understand that our long-term relationship with you and your success really are the keys to our success. We've been working with some Australian companies already, MX Engineering, City Glide and Kate Foods, and we have a social conscience. At Pixel Clear, we pay it forward by creating and maintaining websites for religious organisations, homes for the elderly and orphanages for free. That's a way we just like to give back to the planet, to the world and to society. So now I've got a question. It's up to you. With Pixel Clear, your online future really is within reach. My question is, what are you waiting for? Why not give us a call? You can contact me by phone, email. Love to hear from you, have a chat and see whether we can actually help you. So are you ready? Because at Pixel Clear, together we can build your online dreams. Thanks for listening and have a fantastic day.